Hi, I'm Becky Taylor. I'm one of the organisers at Women in Tech North. Today, our meetup's all about being accessible. So we have hosted our first meetup at lunchtime, and we've recorded all our talks today, which has been kindly sponsored by Venturi.
It's really weird getting up now and talking about Imposter Syndrome after two amazing talks about Imposter Syndrome and now having to follow it.
No pressure.
I know. So I hope my tips are as good as their tips and we can all leave and not feel like we are. But I'm Katy, and I had only been, Socialchain, if you don't know Socialchain, we are a social media marketing agency. And I had only been at Socialchain for about 3 months when they asked me to apply for a more senior role. And when they did, I thought, why? Why me? Surely they've got it wrong. And they're definitely going to find me out. So my background was never in social media. Didn't have a clue about it. Started in buying print advertising and kind of developed my career there and moved along my career by wanting learning opportunities. And Socialchain popped up out of nowhere. And I thought, I need to learn about this new digital world. I need to learn about social media if I'm going to keep growing and progressing. And I took on a role as operations director at Socialchain, which was a very young company at the time, only a couple of years old. And I was still getting my head around this whole new world within 3 months of being there. It's absolutely chaotic. If you've ever seen our office, we've got slides, we've got docs, it's all going on. So coming out of a very traditional world into this world and then getting asked to apply for a more senior role, this is exactly what I was thinking all the time. But I'm incredibly determined, very stubborn, and I put the imposter at the point when I didn't know it was to one side, and I did the interview and I got the job as managing director. But even at that point, for months after being given the role, I kept thinking, people are going to think this about me. Why has she been given that job when she's only just started? She's not qualified to do it. I used to hide in meetings not to say anything so I didn't get caught out for not knowing what I was talking about. And I felt shy, and this is exactly what kept running through my mind. I really struggled with this for a long time, knowing that I wasn't doing myself any favours and I wasn't doing Socialchain any favours. And I grappled with how to get myself out of it. As I said, I'm pretty determined, so if anyone here knows me well, which Rosie does, knows that I will never quit and I'll never give up. So I knew I had to do something about it. And luckily, Socialchain have got such an open approach to mental health and mental health support and helping people be the best versions of themselves that I spoke to Steve and Dom, the founders of the company, and I arranged my first session to see a therapist. And in my first session with Karen, she doesn't look like that, but in my first session with Karen, we turned into how I could own the role more. And she asked me what I did, and I was sat in the chair and I physically shrunk into myself when I had to say, I'm managing director, and I said it really quietly. And she looked at me and she said, it sounds like you've got imposter syndrome. It was coined by 2 American psychologists in 1978, and you have very eloquently explained the description of it. And we've all seen there's quite a few people in this room that suffer from it. But it actually affects up to 70% of successful people. So when you flip it in that term, and you know that 70% of successful people also have this feeling, including Meryl Streep and Albert Einstein, people that you would never expect to have it, we're actually all in really good company. Now I knew what I was dealing with, Karen and I started discussing where it came from and then how I could overcome it. And she got me thinking about what it was that sprung to mind when I thought of a managing director. And the first thing that sprung to mind for me was an old man in a grey suit. What was it about that old man in a grey suit? I have no idea. But it's someone who was unapproachable, someone who's focused on numbers, someone who was locked away from everybody else. And I needed to figure out where that came from. And society has also got me believing that that is the norm. So this is a screenshot from Google Images for the words managing director. If Google is telling me that this is what a managing director is meant to be, how am I supposed to live that role when I'm given it? And the worst thing is, the first female image on Google Images of a woman managing director is actually a Getty image. It's not even a real person. So being determined as I am, as soon as I saw this turned my imposter into anger, and I knew that I had to do something to make a change. And obviously, I'm not a man in a grey suit, and I could never be that. I can't, well, I could, but it'll take a long time, and I don't think that's me. So I then turned into how to figure it out. And what I realised is at Socialchain, I'm not alone. We are all imposters. The company's been set up by 2 university dropouts. We are a group of people you would never expect to be in the roles that you expect traditional roles to fill. And we've got people who started at the age of 17 that are now running a video team at the age of 21. We don't follow the norm, and I'm very proud to know that I don't follow the norm of a managing director, and I'm not that man in a grey suit. I know not everyone's got the luxury of working in a place like that, so here are my 3 lessons that I hope will help. The first one is to understand what the expectations are versus the reality, and how the reality can actually make you more successful. So, because of my focus and our focus at the company on culture, I realised that I am actually right for the managing director role at Socialchain. I'm approachable, I talk to people about their work but also about their lives, and I really care about that over revenue. And I know that if our people are happy, they'll produce the best work that they can for our clients, and that to me is what I want. I want to see everyone happy in work because I want to be happy in work, and I treat people like I want to be treated. So tip number 2 is about embracing being imperfect. Don't claim to know everything, because it's actually really liberating when you say you don't know something, because you then don't worry about being found out because you said, I actually don't know. Our brains are all programmed in very different ways. Myers-Briggs, if you've ever done that test, tells us that. So why do we stress ourselves out by trying to be everything? I got a very good example from someone about buying a house. So when you buy a house, you don't try and do the job of the solicitor. You don't try and do the job of the estate agent. You leave the experts to do the expert's job. So what I've done is I've built a team around me that complement my skill sets, and we knowledge share at Socialchain. It's incredible. We've used Facebook Workplace, and if you don't have it, I'd recommend looking into it. And we post things and we look at things and we all share knowledge so we can all grow and develop together. And I give massive amounts of autonomy to the heads of department within the company. They all run their teams like a mini P&L, so they all know what's going on. So then I don't have to stress myself out about knowing everything all the time. And some of the best ideas that have ultimately changed the whole company have come from people that you would probably never expect. So we've developed a full production arm in the company because of one junior member project manager's idea, and it's giving people an opportunity to then big themselves up as well and develop their career by not claiming to do everything and not trying to do everything all at once. And my 3rd tip is finding enjoyment in doing things differently and not following the norm. At Socialchain, we always do what isn't expected, and we're known for being a disruptor. Our values are to be first, fearless and ever-changing. And if you want to be a leader, the thing that's really going to set you out from everybody else is really living the values and living your values in everything you do. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about our work and how that fits with that. So this is a piece of work we did for ASOS and Nike. What you can see there is what you usually expect from a Nike advert. Very polished, really high production values, but they wanted to reach students. We run a page called Student Problems across social, and we knew that if we wanted students to engage with a piece of content about ASOS and Nike, which was a new app where you could scan and it tells you which Nike trainers to buy, you needed to talk to people in an authentic way and in a way that was going to really resonate. So we created a really rough video on the street in Manchester, filmed on a phone, and the result was it was actually the top performing piece of branded content in the UK for last August. It reached 14 million people and it generated 167,000 clicks to the ASOS website. And that's because we didn't go with the norm. We went with a completely different angle because we knew who we were talking to and we did it in a really authentic way. We also use WhatsApp, a platform that's usually there for chatting to your friends, to create a broadcast list. So anyone can sign up to our broadcast list and it'll give you social media insight every day. So we talk to new clients and potential clients with almost 7,000 subscribers. And it's all working. We've grown exponentially. We've no signs of stopping. Since I took on the role of MD, our revenues have grown by over 100%. And we work with some of the biggest brands in the world, so it's not bad for a group of imposters. So just to run through those tips again, understand what the expectation is versus the reality, embrace being imperfect, and also find enjoyment doing things differently. So if we take these lessons, focus on what we can do rather than what we can't do, then maybe, just maybe, we can change Google Images forever. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Anna, Customer Success Director at tech recruitment company Venturi.
Hi, I'm Holly, Tech Recruiter at Venturi, and I head up our Manchester division. We've been long-standing supporters of the WIT community and love all the hard work that Becky and the team put into gender diversity and inclusion initiatives in the North.
We wanted to support this event today because we're passionate about helping our clients create equal opportunities for underrepresented groups in tech, and we know that imposter syndrome can be a common hindrance to greater diversity. Please get in touch if you want to find out how Venturi can help support you with your diverse tech hiring initiatives.